And imagine if, one movie is playing and then suddenly they put on one more projector, or वो movie के ऊपर one more movie is playing. And suppose there are 10 projectors playing 10 movies on the same screen. Full khichdi is going to happen.
Correct.
You are not going to say अरे एक शॉट में 10 मूवी देखने को मिल रहा है यार एक ही टिकट के प्राइस में, ऐसा नहीं बोलने वाले. करेक्ट ना?
Correct.
You are going to say यार एक भी मूवी चैन से देखने को नहीं मिल रहा.
Right.
So that's what happens to us, all the time. There are these multiple projectors going on inside our mind. We are thinking of multiple things, and that's what takes away our happiness. It takes away our joy.
So hello, welcome to the show, Mr. Aditya Junjunwala. I'm really excited to have you on the show. I have heard your other podcast. I'm following you on Instagram since some time, and I really love what you're doing with the reels, with your IGTVs, and even on YouTube. You have some amazing content. The way you talk about education system and the way you have been building the enterprise fellowship, it's commendable work. We'll talk about enterprise later in the episode. But once again, I'm really excited to have you here on the show.
Thank you so much, Jayesh, and I'm really excited to be here with you also. I love the name Avara Musafir, and I think of myself like Avara Musafir, so I think it's fantastic. And I must say, I love how neatly organized your room is. I can see behind you your bookshelf, all your books neatly. I hope it's a real room and not one of those Zoom images.
No, it's a real room.
And I also see how your camera, your lens has been. So it's very inspiring to see how you have organized everything in your space so well. So I'm excited to
Thank you so much. Thank you. So let's just dive straight into it. First, I want to your Instagram says you're a happiness coach. So I want to talk to you about that. It's like what, almost a year we are all under this lockdown, and pandemic has played with the mental health of a lot of people, and a lot of people are just saying that they are happy to be at home, but we know that deep inside not everyone is happy. Like some people are just showing it. Why do you think people nowadays behave this way, that they want to show the world that they are happy but they don't really talk about it?
That's a very deep question, Jayesh. I think it's simple. All of us would like to be seen as happy, and all of us would like to be seen as things are going well in our life. We don't want to open up those doors of vulnerability, and we don't want to expose ourselves, that much to the whole world. So I think it's a very natural thing. All of us would like to be seen as happy. And probably, only in a very limited circles and inner circle of people who we can trust, we let our guard down and probably show other aspects of how we are feeling. What is important is that we should have a few people in our inner circle with whom we can really be ourselves, with whom we can really speak about what we are feeling and what we are experiencing. And I think everybody should make an effort to develop and nurture a few such relationships in their life. It doesn't happen naturally. We feel ki, naturally I should find somebody with whom I can open up and I can myself. But it doesn't happen naturally. One has to make that effort, One has to make the effort to be vulnerable. One has to make that effort to be respectful to the other person when they are vulnerable. One has to speak about these topics openly and nurture a few such relationships. So I don't know if I answered your question directly, but...
So, nowadays people are like, what is the definition of happiness? Happiness for a lot of people is just, materialistic happiness. Like they want a good car, a good home. But what exactly is happiness for you?
Baapre, ये तो $1 million question है. So that is very important. I mean, what is this thing called happiness? In fact, I feel that sometimes this concept of happiness, we give it too much of weight. We give it too much bhav. We overrate this thing called happiness, and we think happiness is, everything should be going well in my life, and ekdam mast hai. I have the right friends, I have the right girlfriend or boyfriend, paisa ban raha hai, exciting. We feel that is happiness, but we give too much of, I think we give too much of emphasis on happiness being everything is going well. Rather, I feel happiness is that I feel in control of myself. I
Yeah.
feel
Yeah.
in charge of myself. I feel I am able to deal and cope with my own emotions. I understand my own emotions. I understand myself. And I feel, although everything is not going okay in my life, maybe, and rarely everything is okay, but I feel at peace. I feel I accept things. I feel I have the strength to slowly
Yeah.
work and make things better. And I feel I can handle my own emotions and I can handle what's going on in my life. To me, that is happiness.
Yeah. Beautiful. I remember listening to one of your reel on Instagram. You were talking about emotional hijacking. So can you explain what exactly is that?
Wow, wow. You've done some good research, Yash. I like that. That's a very question that you asked, and that's one thing. So, I would read this book called Positive Intelligence by a person
Yeah.
called Shirzad Shamoon. He's done a lot of research on neuroscience, and he coined this word, emotional hijacking. Uh, and I've been following him for a number of years. And what happens is that our emotions are energy in motion. I believe it's emotion, it's energy in
Yeah.
motion. So there's always movement. When there's emotion, there's a change. There's movement happening. Something is changing. Something is in flux. And as human beings, we get triggered. We get pricked. There
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
enough pins out there to pin us, to prick us. So a friend suddenly becomes more friendly with somebody else. And
Hmm.
every person, regardless of what age we are subject to, somebody who we are very close and somebody who we are used to receiving attention from, suddenly they're giving more attention to somebody else or they're
Yeah.
appreciating somebody else. It's a very simple phenomenon, happens to everybody. Or I expected, things to happen in a certain way. I expected, certain results to come and they didn't. Or, um, surprises that happen. Or, somebody who I'm talking to, who I'm very close to, and especially with people who we are very close to and we really love and we look up to, if
Yeah.
their tone of voice, we are very sensitive to their tone of voice. And if their tone of voice, becomes very rigid or very stern or very dry, very sarcastic, again it pins us, right? And
Correct.
at that moment, what happens? Our emotions, they come into move, so they go into overdrive, and suddenly we feel either very low, or we feel very angry, or we feel very irritated, or we feel just like giving up,
Hmm.
and we end up doing things that later on we feel, yeah, I made a mistake, that was stupid.
Yeah.
So at that moment, we have no control over ourselves. It's actually those emotions that are in movement, they're making us do things, and sometimes you can even see, yeah, nahi karna hai, nahi karna hai, nahi karna hai, but fir bhi karta hai. And
Correct.
that's an emotional hijacking, and it happens to us actually multiple times a day,
Yeah.
and
So
ends up,
how do you deal with that?
yeah, yeah. So before I speak about how we deal with that, what happens is it ends up taking away our peace of mind. It ends up messing up our relationship, and
Correct.
it also ends up messing up with our performance, with our potential.
Hmm.
The potential that I have to take
Yeah.
decisions, to do things, because it messes up on all these three fronts: peace of mind, relationship, and peak performance.
Yeah.
Mm. And that's why it's so important to become aware of these triggers that hijack us. Now, how does one deal with it, and how does one, manage these emotional hijackings? Um, the first step is to become aware.
Hmm.
Just to become aware, and after the hijacking has occurred, at least after the hijacking has occurred, and to be able to recognize, I just got emotionally hijacked.
Yeah.
I just got hijacked. So the first step is to do that. At the end of the day, if you can just take 5 minutes and write down a diary and think of the 1, 2, 3 times in the day when one got hijacked. What happens is, the way our brain is structured, when we are able to look at our own behavior as a third person, when I'm able to step outside my own self and look at myself and reflect on myself as a third person, the act of doing that reflection and saying, oh, this is what happened to me. This trigger came and this is how I behaved. I would have
Right.
rather behaved. Just the act of doing this reflection, it changes our neural circuitry. And the next time that emotional hijacking happens, it it puts us in a slightly better position to handle it out
Yeah.
of conscious thought. So the more that we create this reflection and the more we separate ourselves when these things happen and we can say, okay, this is what happened to me. That is not me. I just got hijacked by that emotion.
Correct. Yeah.
The more we are actually neurochemically separating ourselves, neurologically, we are creating a different pathway for our brain to think.
Yeah.
So that's one beautiful thing that we can do. The other thing that you can do is take some time, to practice mindfulness. Take some time to sit and meditate 10 minutes in the day. And probably every 2 hours, take a 2-minute break. Take a 2 minute break and do nothing in those 2 minutes. Just become very aware of your physical body, your physical sensations, breath,
Yeah.
touch, hearing. Okay, just be mindful. Once again, that creates it. It builds in our brains. It builds the mental muscles to shift thought away from an ongoing thought, which is overthinking.
Yeah. Yeah.
It builds the mental muscles to shift my attention away from that thought to a physical sensation. And just that shifting, it increases my mental muscles that give me
Yeah.
the power to manage those emotional hijackings better. So I've
Yeah.
tried to crunch a lot of concepts into a very simple thing, but actually it's very simple. It is very simple, but it requires some discipline to practice.
Yeah. Yeah. But then you talk about like meditation, you need to try out meditation. A lot of people who are like, between 20 to 30, they are confused about meditation because I have gone through that phase. There are
Yeah,
so many apps, so many videos. Like, what exactly is meditation? Can you
yeah,
talk about that?
yeah, yeah. That's a very interesting one, and honestly, I don't want to go into what is meditation because,
Hmm.
to be very frank, I don't know, and
Hmm.
I don't really know who knows.
Yeah.
And the people who know, I don't know if they can explain it also to us. So we use this word meditation loosely, but I think a simple practice to just bring all the attention to one thing.
Hmm.
Instead of
Yeah.
the mind being attentive to 20 things, it's like, imagine being in a cinema hall and you're watching must movie, you're watching something that you really love. And
Yeah.
imagine if, one movie is playing and then suddenly they put on one more projector or wo movie ke upar one more movie is playing. And suppose there are 10 projectors playing 10 movies on the
Yeah.
same screen. Full khichdi is going to happen.
Correct.
यू आर नॉट गोइंग टू अरे एक शॉट में 10 मूवी देखने को मिल रहा है यार एक ही टिकट के प्राइस में, ऐसा नहीं बोलने वाले, करेक्ट ना?
Correct. Correct.
यू आर गोइंग टू से यार एक भी मूवी चैन से देखने को नहीं मिल रहा.
Right.
So that's what happens to us, all the time there are these multiple projectors going on inside our mind. We are thinking of multiple things, and that's what takes away our happiness. It takes away our joy, right? And I would say that a simple practice of slowly shutting down the projectors and only bringing the focus back to one project. Now, for some
Hmm.
people, it may be breathing. For some
Yeah.
people, it may be focusing on sounds coming from outside my house. For some
Yeah.
people, it may be just the sense of, touch of the clothes against my skin. And
Correct.
then thoughts will come. Some thoughts will come. And then you just gently let those thoughts go and just come back to that sensation. And that's it. I think this much of the practice is all that we need. We don't have to overcomplicate it with what is meditation.
Correct.
And that's what takes away our happiness. It takes away our joy, right? And I would say that a simple practice of slowly shutting down the projectors and only bringing the focus back to one project. Now, for some
Hmm.
people, it may be breathing. For some
Yeah.
people, it may be focusing on sounds coming from outside my house. For some
Yeah.
people, it may be just the sense of, touch of the clothes against my skin. And
Correct.
then thoughts will come. Some thoughts will come. And then you just gently let those thoughts go and just come back to that sensation. And that's it. I think this much of the practice is all that we need. We don't have to overcomplicate it with what is meditation.
Correct. One last question before we end this, and this is my favorite question to ask anybody because I love books. I love to read. So, what are your book recommendations? Like top three or maybe five books which you want everyone to just read.
Wow, I love that. So, one book that I want everybody to read is this book called The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Uh, since we started speaking about happiness, I think happiness is being able to be here and now. And this guy, right, the way he's written this book, at least for me, every time I read it, even if I read 2-3 pages, it transports me into the now. So I feel that's a book that every one of us should definitely read. It's The Power of Now.
Right. Amazing. So are there any other books which you want people to read, or just this one?
Another book that I think anybody who's interested in the world of business, they should read this book called Good to Great. That's one book that has really, really shaped my thinking in terms of business and really broken some ideas that I had. So Good to Great is a beautiful book. And one idea from that book is first get the right people on the board and then think of the idea.
Yeah.
First get the right team and then think of the idea. He says, I love that. One more book I will share, which I think honestly everybody should read once again, is this book called The Goal by someone who I look up to as my mentor. Although I've never met him, by Professor Eliyahu Goldratt. It's called The Goal. Almost most management students read it, but they don't read it properly. So I would recommend everybody pick up that book, read it. It will teach you something about life, career, work, business, finance, everything. And it's a simple book to read.
Correct.
So give me one book recommendation from your side.
I would say Your Next 5 Moves by Patrick Bet-David. It is like people who are into business, it's for them, but it's a really beautiful book. It will teach you a lot. Like he has used the concepts of chess, and I mean, you need to read that book once in your life.
Yeah. Wonderful. Really thanks. Amazing. I'm going to pick that up. Yeah. I'm going to pick that up. Your Next 5 Moves.
Yeah. Awesome.
If you want to learn, no, इस दुनिया में कोई माइका लाल रोक नहीं सकता है तेरे को सीखने से. Nobody can. And in India, we have got the story of Eklavya यार. उससे और बढ़कर
correct.
What can be there? If you have the desire to learn, nothing can stop. We have to understand that fear is what takes away curiosity, and curiosity is what takes away fear.